Next one is the coaxial cable. So coaxial cable is having better shielding compared to the twisted pair. It is having better shielding compared to the twisted pair. So interference is further reduced in case of coaxial cable. So that is the biggest one more advantage compared to the UTP or STP. Now there are two types of coaxial cables. One is a 50 ohm coaxial cable and other one is the 75 ohm coaxial cable. The 50 ohm coaxial cable is used for digital communication, so transmitting the information in the digital form. So that uses 50 ohm coaxial cable. So generally the computer networks, the 50 ohm coaxial cable is being used. And the second type is 75 ohm coaxial cable. So the 75 ohm coaxial cable is used for the analog communications. So mainly cable TV network will use the 75 ohm coaxial cable. So the whatever coaxial cable we are seeing the cable networks at our residences, that is a 75 ohm coaxial cable. So that is most suitable coaxial cable for analog communications or TV communication. Then in this coaxial cable will have only two conductors. So the main conductor is a copper core. So around that we are going to have an insulating material. Around that insulating material we are going to have a braided mesh which is going to be used as a ground conductor. So around that mesh, so again outer jacket and insulator for protecting from external environment. So that is about the construction wise how the coaxial cable is. To see this, so this copper core is the main conductor, signal carry conductor. Around this we are having the insulator material. Around that, so braided mesh is wrapped around the insulating material, so which is going to protect the interference of external cable from this copper core, because it is covering all the sides of the copper core. So as a result, external interference is almost zero. That is why the best shielding is used with this. Around that a plastic core or outer jacket to protect from environment conditions. So this is about the coaxial cable part. Both 75 ohm or 50 ohm, this is what is going to happen. Now again in this 50 ohm coaxial cable is being divided two types. Again the 50 ohm coaxial cable is two types. One is called the thin coaxial cable, other one is thick coaxial cable. So thin coaxial cable and thick coaxial cable. Cost wise, the thick coaxial cable is costly compared to the thin coaxial cable. So the thin coaxial cable is around 1/4 of the inch and the thick coaxial cable is around half inch thickness almost. Now this thin coaxial cable is being used, generally the bus topology uses the coaxial cable. So which is very simple to install and easy for expansion. So these are the advantages, and interference is almost zero. Because of these advantages, the bus topology is preferring thin coaxial cable for small networks, thick coaxial cable for medium networks. So in when we are coming to using the thin coaxial cable, so we will be coming across a term 10 base 2. So here the 10 base 2 means, so 10 is the speed of the communication, so 10 Mbps, and it supports the baseband signal. Then 2 indicates the segment size, so 200 meters. 200 meters is the segment size, but exactly speaking, the segment size is 185 meters only. We can use 185 meters as the segment size, but roughly we can say 200 meters. And when you are connecting, the minimum distance between adjacent hosts should be minimum 50 centimeters or a half meter. So at every half meter we can connect next station likewise. And when you are using the thick coaxial cable, maximum 30 systems you can connect per segment. So that is within 185 meters we can connect maximum 30 systems only. Then, so total we can have 5 segments in the network. So when you have 5 segments in the network, then 5 into 200, so approximately 1 kilometer is the maximum size of the network in this particular case. If any organization is using thin coaxial cable, means the maximum size of the network is 1 kilometers. So exactly speaking, it is 925 meters only, 185 into 5. So 925 meters only. The maximum number of systems, so 30 systems per segment. So total 5 segments can be there. So 5 into 30 at the most, 150 systems in a network. We cannot have more than that. And this thin coaxial cable network will follow the 543 rule. So 543 rule, where 5 indicates total 5 segments can be there, and these 5 segments are connected with 4 repeaters. Between segment 1 and 2 we are going to use one repeater. Between segment 2 and 3, second repeater. 3 and 4, third repeater. 4 and 5, fourth repeater. So likewise we are going to have 4 repeaters in 5 segments. So after 185 meters you need to use a repeater for increasing the signal strength. So that is one requirement in this. So total we are going to have 4 repeaters in 5 segments, and 3 indicates out of 5 segments 3 segments can be thickly populated. So 3 segments can be thickly populated means, so you can maintain the minimum distance between adjacent systems. So all 30 systems approximately 15 meters. Within 15 meters you can connect all 30 systems. Likewise, 3 segments you can have 90 systems within 45 meters. The remaining 2 segments, we should use the more than half meter gap between them. So that is the meaning of 543 rule. 5 segments, 4 repeaters, 3 segments can be thickly populated. That is about the thin coaxial cable. When you are using thin coaxial cable, again, so whatever backbone we are using thin coaxial cable, that both the ends of the thin coaxial cable should be terminated to suppress the reflections. So to terminate the signals at the end, the terminators are to be used when you are using the thin coaxial cable. So that is in the bus topology. That is about the thin coaxial cable. Next is the thick coaxial cable. So when using the thick coaxial cable, so the parameters are whatever we are coming across is 10 base 5. So here the 10 base 5 indicates 10 Mbps speed, baseband signal, and segment size is 500 meters. Every segment size is 500 meters. So again here also 5 segments. Again this is also preferred for bus topology. And minimum gap between 2 systems can be 50 centimeters or half meter. Now in this case we can connect 100 systems per segment. So when we are using 100 systems per segment and maximum 5 segments, so total 500 systems can be connected in the network. So what is the range of the network? The range is 500 meters per segment, 5 segments, so 2.5 kilometers is the maximum size of the network. Whereas in case of thin coaxial cable, the maximum size of the network is approximately 1 kilometer, but using the thick coaxial cable, it can be expanded to 2.5 kilometers with 500 systems in the network. Whereas in thin coaxial cable, only 150 systems can be connected, but now we can have so 500 systems in the network. Again, thick coaxial cable also follows 543 rule. 5 segments, 4 repeaters, 3 segments can be thickly populated. That is about the thick coaxial cable. So compared to the cost factor, so this is a little costlier compared to the UTP cable. So that is why, but this is being most preferred for the bus topology, small networks, because so establishing the network is very easy. We don't need additional devices like hubs, okay, so which are needed in the star topology where UTP cable is being used, twisted pair cable is being used. But in this case, when we are using the coaxial cable, then the hubs are not needed as all the systems can be connected to a common bus. So the common bus is a coaxial cable. In case of thin coaxial, so the coaxial cable will be the bus and the same will be used as a drop cable from the bus to the host. Whereas in case of thick coaxial cable, so the backbone is the thick coaxial cable and drop cable can be thin. So the similar concept is being used. The only difference is the thick coaxial cable. So conductor thickness is more. As a result, its attenuation will be reduced. Its attenuation will be less. So because of that, you can have more number of systems per segment. Whereas in case of thin coaxial cable, so the conductor diameter is small. As a result, its attenuation will be more compared to thick. That is why only 30 systems per segment. And the segment size is only 108, so 185 meters. But whereas in thick coaxial cable, conductor thickness is more, so attenuation is less. That is why the segment size can be 500 meters. So every 500 meters, a repeater to be used in thick coaxial cable. Every 185 meters, a repeater is to be used at thin coaxial cable. That is about the thin and thick coaxial cable. Here one point I forgot, that is, so when we are using the twisted pair, like 10 base 5 for thick and 10 base 2 for thin. So similarly 10 base T is being used for the twisted pair. So 10 base T, that is 10 Mbps speed, baseband, and T indicates twisted pair. That is the standard one used for the cable network. That is about the thick coaxial cable.